Accountant's World was created with one mission in mind, and that was to empower accounting professionals to apply their God given payroll skills, all while leveraging unprecedented automation. As a result, bringing payroll services back to accountants and make them highly profitable and hassle free. We have designed a professional payroll software exclusively for the accounting professional that'll allow them to harness the power of the cloud, unparalleled automation and bandwidth. We will never market, sell, or solicit our products and services directly to your clients or compete with you. You are the only profession we serve and continue to serve. Last but not least, our value proposition is to offer to be your trusted advisor and a long-term strategic partnership, essentially an investment in your practice that will provide a very strong ROI. Now, let me show you what really separates Payroll Relief from the rest of the software providers out there. And that is going to be directly on the screen we are looking at right now. See, we do all, we even actually eliminate and automate data entry, so no one has to worry and be bogged down with entering time on a timesheet that takes up several hours throughout a week, whether it's at your accounting firm or whether it's at your customer's business. Entering time on a timesheet is not it's not a valuable use of time, and it's not a productive use of anyone's day. So we want to make sure that we can eliminate that and make it a lot easier for both you and your client going forward. Now, when all the data is in, we're going to go ahead, we're going to review and calculate the payroll. And Payroll Relief handles and guarantees 100% accuracy on all complex calculations. First and foremost, that is your federal withholding and FICA, state and local withholding, child support for almost all 50 states, unlimited customizable deductions, net pay, gross pay calculations, FUTA, SUTA, and a total cost of the payroll on the very bottom. Direct deposits are initiated and handled entirely by Payroll Relief, as Payroll Relief creates the notcha file, sends it to the bank to ensure the process of paying your client's employees has begun. Now, I'm confident you can see the automation at the level of an employer for direct deposits, tax payments, and tax form filings, as you only need to click one button to ensure that all of those processes have been initiated. However, think for a second if you could maybe batch all of those together and handle all those approvals for direct deposits, tax payments, tax form filings together for a lot of your customers that are on the same pay frequency and tax payment frequency. Well, you don't have to think about it any longer, because Payroll Relief will allow you to do that for features such as payroll approval, check printing, W-2 and 1099 batch processing. So here we are at the payroll approval for batch processing, in which you are able to approve of multiple payrolls for multiple employers right from the screen. 25, 250, 500 clients, doesn't matter. You'll be able to batch approve these clients together as long as they're on the same frequency. And that is, of course, after individually calculating all of their pay schedules. You group them all together here. We're going to grab all of them by clicking our check mark up here, and we're going to do a batch approve of the payrolls. So our reporting feature, which does consist of over 40 comprehensive and customizable reports, does have a component of communication in it, as well as you're able to group any of these 40 plus professional comprehensive reports and batch them in together into what's called a Payroll Relief report set. So what we're going to do is we're going to take a look at how you build a set, and please keep in mind you can always launch this into PDF for the final copy, Word, Excel for further customization. You can archive the report set and any random individual report to the cloud cabinet, as well as email a report set or an individual report directly to a client. But all you're going to do is click Build a Set. You're going to select any of the reports that you want to build into this package. You're going to name that report set, and now you're going to have a customized report set, of which you get 3 to make for each client. And now you don't have to generate 17, 25, 8 different reports in your package. You have 9 reports here in this strand. And keep in mind, it's going to have your firm's branding and logo on the top right, just as well as our platform does everywhere you go. It's going to have your branding, your logo, and your name white labeled on the top left, every single part of the solution. And when we are ready to provide our client with that report set, we can go ahead and click the email functionality, and that's going to send a direct email of the report set for our client. Now, Payroll Relief is comprised of control and collaboration at its core. You're going to be able to customize your payroll service to best meet the needs of each particular client. You're going to allow for employee capabilities, of course, to an extent, And last but not least, sharing and safekeeping of important client documents. This begins with the permission screen. You're going to be able to allow access to performing different functions, including initial setup, different payroll processing activities, accessing of different reports, managing advanced features, etc. What access you give your clients ultimately depends on their needs, their expertise, but really what terms you both agree on. And that has nothing to do with us at Accountants World. You have free range to give them unlimited or very little access. Clients then have the option to grant their staff some access to a subset of the functions they've been given permission to. And of course, always good to remember, and I will note that no client will ever be able to see any information you don't give them access to, as well as no information about any other client. They'll have a unique username and password that is separate from yours. So as you can see, it's not an all or none type of feature. Integration, whether data is being exported or imported into a system, payroll systems, general ledger systems, it is vital to make sure that we have a seamless measure of importing and exporting data to make sure that onboarding implementations are streamlined, as well as getting general ledger tax payments, employee checks for general ledger account purposes back into a bookkeeping or general ledger platform. So let's start with the fact that you will be able to upload a batch of 50 clients on an Excel spreadsheet all at once into Payroll Relief to have them on the platform. And then you can start uploading the vast amount of employee/contractor data that you will have to for an employee on an employer level. We actually have direct integrations with files from software such as QuickBooks, Peachtree Sage, Creative Solutions, Intuit Online Payroll, and then we have our own other Excel file for an employee setup template in which you would export and then format a little bit to import back on in here to make sure every ounce of detail for an employee or contractor is seamlessly imported and put into the correct place into Payroll Relief. Now, as for the integration out of Payroll Relief for exporting of general ledger purposes, we have the journal entry export capable of all the GL accounts, tax payments, and employee checks. And that wraps up our Payroll Relief demo flow.